Are you being dragged down? Do you feel as if someone is holding you down by your ankles and dragging/weighing you wherever you go? Thoughts are loud, but the ones you hear in a time of spiritual warfare are deadly similar. Today I want to talk to you about the defense and how to defend yourself during that time. How do you know you are in spiritual warfare? To answer that, we first have to see what spiritual warfare is. Spiritual warfare is the idea that we are fighting against evil forces, such as biblical beliefs about spirits and demons. These evil spirits come into our lives and interfere with them. Where you can read it is in Revelations, the final battle between beast and God's people, and in Ephesians 6 on defending against attacks in God's armor. When we experience this spiritual warfare, it is when we feel pinned down by anger, unforgiveness, pride, comparison, insecurities, discord, fear, and so on and so forth, which all are an outcome of the devil himself and his spirits. You can see spiritually rooted is where problem thoughts come from. In Ephesians 6:12 it reads, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." You must be thinking, that is horrible. How can I believe in a God who would use that and make us go through this? Why have we even gone through this warfare? We go through it because one of our punishments for disobeying God in the garden is we were given the seed, and pardon for me not being able to pronounce this, enmity, into the woman and into the snake. The Latin root is the enemy and means the state of being an enemy. If you have always hated someone, you have a history of enmity with that person, which causes us to have war for and at each other. Reasons why we also experience warfare is 1. It leads us to the cross. 2. It keeps us humble. 3. Shows us God is our warrior. 4. Pushes us to pray. 5. Teaches us about grace. And 6. Magnify God's name. Great! Now you know what, where, when, and why spiritual warfare happens. But now, how can you win against it? You win by 2 keys. The wanting to pray and understanding the enemy's strategy. Prayer allows you to unlock all the spiritual armor written in Ephesians 6:10-20, becoming like as strong as this warrior right here. Each piece symbolizing another way of protection and fighting, but that's another video. 1. Wanting to pray. Praying for spiritual vision, which is praying to open your eyes to see the enemy's attack. It is believing it and acting on it, fighting within God's armor. 2. Knowing the enemy's strategy. Know that what the evil spirits tell you is just the devil manipulating what God says. See that the enemy is trying to break your and our connection to God, because that's where all our power lays to defeat him. Now knowing what you are facing in spiritual warfare and what it is, are you in the midst of war? Well, it's time to put on your armor and start praying and fighting. Keep strong and stay blessed.